G'day there guys, if your dreams don't scare you, they're not too big. Take from that what you will, and it's your man Markee. Welcome back to another episode of r/AmiTheA. Now if you love today's content, I want you to sit back, relax, chuck a prawn on the barbie, and enjoy today's bloody good episode. Thank you. Posted by user Salty Throwaway AmiTheA. Titled, Am I the a-hole for throwing away a whole pot of chili out of spite? I'm extremely sensitive to the taste of salt. Nothing will happen to me health-wise if I do eat a lot, but I absolutely cannot stand it, and salted food is inedible to me. My boyfriend, on the other hand, is a salt fiend. He adds extra salt to everything, which is fine. Everybody has their own taste palette. I don't care what he does with his own food. I got up yesterday and decided to do chili in the crock pot. 5 p.m. rolls around, chili is done. We bowl up for dinner. I'm not very hungry, so I just make a tiny bowl with the plan to go back later. I made 10 quarts with the idea of leftovers for at least 2 days. I go back a few hours later, make another small bowl, and shrivel into a raisin upon taking the first bite. He didn't just salt his bowl, he salted the entire pot. Now, I'm aware that 99% of the population would probably have to season their bowl. I expect people to. When I have someone over to eat, I tell them I don't use much salt and direct them to the shaker so they can do their own portion how they like it. But I do expect people to have some consideration for others eating and limit it to their own plate. This isn't the first time he's done this, and we've talked about it before. He swears he won't do it again. But it's a 50-50 chance next time we eat, he'll salt the main dish before putting it on his plate, instead of just salting what's on his plate. It ruins leftovers for me, which pisses me off because I am the sole buyer of groceries, and I usually cook in bulk. I didn't say anything. I just dumped my bowl. I was pissed, feeling disrespected and uncared for, and in the heat of the moment, I dumped the rest of the pot. My thought process was, if I can't eat, neither can he. He has a habit of getting up at 1 a.m. and digging into leftovers. So like clockwork, he goes downstairs, digs around in the fridge, then stomps back up to our room and asks where the F the chili went. I told him I threw it out because it was inedible, and he lost it about wasting food. Said it's not his fault I have no sense of taste and didn't think I wanted any more. 10 quarts of chili, and he thought 9 of it was solely his, apparently. This is the first time I've actually thrown out basically a whole dish. Normally, I just bitch at him about it, remind him to stop doing it, and move on. This time I just snapped, I guess. I'm tired of only getting to eat a tiny portion of food that I pay for and cook. It's costing me money because I'm having to make separate food for myself when there's perfectly good leftovers I can't touch. It seems like such a dumb thing to fight over. And now that I've thought about it, I wonder if I did overreact. I'm still pissed, but it does feel petty and wasteful. I vented in my group chat, and it's been a mix of your food, your choice, and it's just salt. Get over it. Am I the a-hole for throwing it away purely out of spite? To answer some frequently asked questions, why isn't he paying his way? He doesn't work. I'm the sole provider. I have 2 jobs and he watches our kids so I can work. He's not certified to do anything, so I have more earning potential. Y'all eat that much in 2 days? I couldn't add in the main post because of the character limit, but we have 2 kids also. The baby is still breastfed and is too young to eat the chili, but it was ruined for our toddler as well. I worry about his kidneys. This seems like a bigger problem? Honestly, it is. It isn't about the chili, it's about the ongoing respect, and this was just the specific breaking point. I have kids with this man, and have sunk so much time and effort and life into him that it's hard for me to accept reality for what it is. It feels like everything he does comes from a selfish place. He navigates the world and his life like it's a single-player RPG, and everyone else are just NPCs to improve his story. If it wasn't salting the chili, it would have been using up the last of the detergent to only wash his clothes, or using up all the hot water, knowing I still need to shower for work. This just happened to be where the pieces landed. You're a dick for wasting food. I know. That's why my actions settled on me enough to post here. I was raised in poverty and have lived on rice and beans before. This was a pure anger and spite-fueled thing. It seemed like the lesser evil than dumping it on his side of the bed, which did cross my mind. Why don't you like salt, and what do you cook with then? I do use salt and seasonings, I'm just very light-handed with the salt. I eat pre-seasoned, pre-packaged foods, and those are generally fine. If not, I just pass them off to him. I order McDonald's fries unsalted. When I make tacos, I use regular full-sodium taco seasoning mix, and that's a bit much, but I drown it out with other toppings on my own plate. The difference between me and him is that he adds additional salt on top of all that. He resalts McDonald's fries when he gets home, puts extra salt on top of the tacos, etc. Someone says, leave him. Yeah, probably. I've been looking into daycares and pre-K for the kids. That's really the only reason I've stuck it out so long. If I had childcare, his presence here would be redundant. I ping-pong bowled between you're the a-hole, not the a-hole, everyone sucks here on this one, but I feel like this extra information was absolutely necessary in this situation, gives me a much better picture of what's going on, and I'm on OP's side for this one. I'd say that they're not the a-hole in this situation. If he really is living life like a single-player RPG character, and not working, and just being an overall negative presence in the house, sorry, but he's being the a-hole in this situation. Yes, dumping the chili would potentially have been a negative for this kid, but if he's adding so much salt to it like he does with his frickin' McDonald's fries and tacos, that it's going to be, terrible for this kid's kidney, then F the chili, dump the chili, and dump the man. It just sounds like genuinely such irresponsible parenting and such a disservice to the relationship. There is so much disrespect going on here from this man. I understand if people want to make the everyone sucks here arguments, but I would be out of this relationship as fast as I could if I was this OP. Yes, stay around so that he can look after the kids until you can make those arrangements, but I don't know if this is a situation that can be salvaged. I'm not sure because it doesn't seem like he wants to, and there has been enough years for there to have been change to be made, and yet there was no change done. F this guy, not the a-hole. I know I'll get downvoted because Am I the a-hole is very pro-petty, but everyone sucks here. He sucks for salting the entire crockpot against your wishes and behind your back. Just season up your individual dish like everyone else. But you suck for being petty and wasting 10 quarts of food that could be eaten on the grounds of, if I can't eat it, no one can. Waste of money and totally petty. Then again, you knew that, otherwise you wouldn't have posted here. Next time, just cook for yourself until he can respect you enough to not do that. You get to eat, food isn't wasted, problem solved. I think that because the boyfriend regularly hijacks the OP's food to have only for himself, and the fact that he's been asked explicitly not to, that the only way to get the point across was to get rid of the chili, maybe OP could have given it to a friend or family member. But I think that it was honestly reasonable for her to waste this food. It's a lesson, a costly one, but a necessary one. He wouldn't get the point if he still gets to chow down on all of her food anytime he wants. He needed a reality check, not the a-hole. Not to mention, she's the one that bought and cooked it. She's allowed to waste whatever the damn hell she wants if she financed it and he intentionally ruined it. Our next post is by user BugFuddy Am I the A-hole? Titled, Am I the a-hole for calling my 27 male, ex friends with benefits, 25 female, a beer after she brought up our history in front of my fiancé, who's 28 female? Me and my fiancé got engaged right before the world fell apart. She wanted to have an engagement party, but big groups and gatherings would be irresponsible. Our small town of less than 3,000 people hasn't had a new case for about a month, so we thought it was okay to do a small to medium dinner to celebrate our engagement. We invited our direct families and 5 friends who could bring a +1. In total, about 18 people were there. One of my friends brought Liza, a girl who was a friends with benefits and who I had a crush on for a while, as his +1. During our early 20s, Lisa got around. In fact, she kept a hit list of all the men she hit and how many times. My name was on that list, and she probably hit me a decent amount of times. I had very strong feelings for her. She knew and used that to keep me coming over so I could sleep with her, and then she would just kick me out. Being dumb, horny, and in love, I kept going in the hopes that she'd feel the same way about it. When I saw her, I talked to her and my friend and requested they not bring it up. I told my fiancé that a girl I used to hook up with showed up, but I left it at that. I didn't mention that we had been on and off for more than a year, or that I had feelings for her, which I probably should have. Well, I bought a lot of alcohol for the evening, and Lisa got a little drunk. She wasn't wasted, but she was off. Me and my fiancé's families had left, and we got kinda rowdy. Eventually, Lisa says to the whole party, some dumb, unintelligible nonsense, but the main thing is that she revealed that she used to F the groom-to-be. My fiancé laughed uncomfortably, and everyone else just laughed. I got embarrassed and nicely tried to get her to be quiet, but Lisa had an audience. Lisa then said, I blew his effing mind. He said I was the best he's ever had, and he loved me. People still laughed. My fiancé instantly looked hurt. I told Lisa flat out that she needed to shut up. Lisa then told me to calm down because she taught me everything I knew in bed, and that my fiancé should be happy that she went through me. My fiancé left the room in tears, and I was livid. I told Lisa that she needs to stop because she was just some slag that I thought I had feelings for, and that I should have thrown her trashy ass out the second I saw her. The party stopped, and more tears, but from Lisa. The friend that brought her took her out, and everyone else left. I comforted my fiancé. The next morning I told her what I said, and she said that it was wrong for me to slut-shame her like that. So many of my friends called me an a-hole, including the friend who brought her. Am I the a-hole? Edit. I'd just like to add, Lisa and my relationship ended because I told her I wanted to be something more, and she said she was fine with us just effing. I felt bad about myself and ended the relationship. This is a tough situation, and I don't particularly know even if your actions were right in this one. There's a lot of mud being flung around at this engagement party, and I feel like it's all wrong place, wrong time for everyone in this situation here. I really don't think any of you guys made good choices here, and most of all I feel bad for your fiancé. She's caught in the middle of a crap storm, and I don't know how she's gonna feel after this one. Both you and Lisa did wrong in this situation. Lisa started it, but you're the one that decided to just do a double whammy and punch everyone in the party in the face. Hypothetically speaking, you were just like, bam, truth bombs, hate you, slut shame here, there, smack, smack, smack. She may have been the spark, but you were the atomic bomb. So everyone sucks here. Everyone sucks here. Sure, she's obviously an a-hole, but so are you. You were happy to partake of what Lisa was offering when it suited you. Having sex with someone, then calling them a bear for having sex unquestionably makes a person an a-hole every time. If she's a tramp, then so are you, OP. Yes. Dudes who sleep with a woman then call her a slur. Do you guys all have a problematic relationship with your own dick? Hear me out. She wasn't a slur before she slept with you. So what does that say about you, your self-esteem, and your relationship with your dick? Everyone sucks here. Obviously she acted in poor taste, but that poor taste came after you supplied the alcohol, a lot, to get everyone drunk, and clearly you were wrong to lie by omission to your fiancé about how involved you were, emotionally at least, with Lisa. But let's get real, buddy. You're an a-hole who didn't mind Lisa being a slur when you got something out of it. Now that you have no use for her, you think it's fine to treat her like trash. Seriously, you judge her for wanting to have a lot of sex and say that she took advantage of your feelings for her. But you knew that she was doing that, and still went to her for sex because you were horny. Nice how the thing that justifies your choices is the same thing you'd vilify her for. Your poor fiancée. She didn't deserve what happened that night, and she certainly deserves better than you. This comment completely. People don't seem to mind the slur when they're getting their jollies, but treat them like trash afterwards. Bringing this crap on you at your engagement party was terribly rude, but calling her names like that just because she never reciprocated your feelings makes you an a-hole. Posted by user PokeMom95, titled, Am I the a-hole? Ex gets married on our son's birthday, ignores son. Some background. I, 25 female, left my ex, 32 male, back when I was pregnant due to the traumatic abuse that he put me through. He and I hardly spoke, and when our son was born, he did not come to see him. He denied being the father and had everyone in his town believe I was a slur who banged everyone. When paternity test came back as 99.99998%, he handed me custody with no fights. I remember watching his new girlfriend storm out of the courtroom when the results were announced. He attended visitations for a few weeks, then suddenly stopped. Few years passed. I moved and started attending college while he still lives with his parents. In July 2020, our son turned 5. My ex had been invited to every birthday celebration and never showed, never called, never even sent a gift. Just an hour after my son's birthday party, I was scrolling through Facebook and happened to see my ex's mother had posted a congratulations to her son who had gotten married earlier that day. My ex never called to wish my son a happy birthday, never sent a text, gift, or card, but had the time to get married on the one day of the year where I feel he should be spending his time with his child. I took screenshots of the post, every comment, every picture, and posted it on my timeline, calling my ex out for being a deadbeat not worthy of being called a father. His mother and some of his family came to try and defend him. So many of my friends and family, and even strangers, came to my aid and wrote about how much a piece of crap he is. My fiancé had said, I've known this child for 3 years, and not once has his so-called father ever been there or been involved. Now, almost on a weekly basis, I have his family message me telling me I'm an a-hole, piece of crap, how my son will be ashamed of what I have said about his father when he grows up, and how I'm somehow the reason his son has no father. Am I the a-hole? I think by default, that guy is the a-hole in this situation by being abusive to you and not being in the son's life. I think we can perfectly establish that. But where I think you veer into the a-hole territory is, I think you would have known this marriage was happening, and I think you knew it was clear that he didn't want his own son at the marriage. That's another a-hole strike right there. Screw that guy for that. But the writing was on the wall there. I feel like airing all this dirty laundry online was not the right way to do it. Obviously you can do it, and I don't think you should have done it because look at the fallout that is caused afterwards. It's not bringing your son any closer to his father, and it's not doing anything to mend the relationship, it's just causing more divide. The ends in this situation has definitely not justified the means, and I think you made an error by putting it online like that. It's done much more harm than good to you, your son, and then your entire family as a result. I'm gonna go with everyone sucks here for this one. Being obsessed with his whereabouts and lack of interest in your son does nothing for your son. Everyone sucks here. Move on. Your son does not need his mother to be bitter, vindictive, and immature. Don't play yourself and pretend that you did that for him. He does not have a father. Your Facebook tantrum did not fix that. Nothing will. I disagree with this. I had an absent father, and I wish that anyone called him out publicly, even once. As it happened, he got married on my birthday too. It does do something for children to know that someone had their back, and she's entitled to feel anger and sadness for her child, who may not get it now, but they will every single birthday when they're old enough to realize their parents cared so little about them, they scheduled a wedding on their birthday. Trust me, I know. Not the a-hole. You aren't the only one who knows. Toxic behavior infects everyone. She can have her son's back without obsessing over her ex's actions. I'm sorry you went through something similar. Here's to living through our parents' poor decisions. How is she obsessing over his actions by checking Facebook? Why the F is she following him and his family on Facebook when she knows he wants nothing to do with her or their kid? Sure, it feels good in the moment to put the deadbeat on blast, but ultimately it's petty and messy and doesn't magically change someone's behavior. Everyone sucks here. It sounds like he has zero interest, so why would you want that for your child? And if he was abusive towards you, even more so. Your behavior sounds like you're angry at him, and this is more to do with your feelings than what is best for your child. Maybe spend some time working through your own feelings of hurt, rejection, shame, loss, or whatever is going on there. Walk away from the drama rather than adding to it with social media posts, which are never going to have any positive effect. Otherwise, you have a future of bitterness and negativity which you will share with your child. Sounds like they will only have one parent who cares, so maybe try to be the best one you can be. Good luck. Yes, this. Therapy would be good. And OP replies, I am in therapy, but for different issues. I suffer from depression and anxiety, and recently found out I'm autistic. My own father wants nothing to do with me, and I know the pain my son will feel. I even suffer from PTSD, diagnosed by therapist because of this X. I hate him for what he did to me, but even more so for what he did to our son. My son doesn't deserve the pain he will eventually feel because his father chose everything else over him. Alright, I think that's where I'm going to end today's video, guys. I do hope you enjoyed it. As always, I want to do a huge shout out to all my channel members and Patreon subscribers. You should be up on the screen now. I love you all, and I think every single one of you are amazing for supporting the channel in the way that you do. Again, thank you so much for supporting me. And again, if you did enjoy today's video, please do tell me what you thought of it down in the comments below. All of your hot takes, opinions, whatever you think, really, whatever's going on in your life right now, I'd love to hear down in the comments below. Before I leave, I'd also like to announce that I'm going to start doing meme content again on the second channel. I know it's been a while, so click on the Markee head on the screen without the Australian flag behind him if you want to go see some memes. And as always, guys, have a good day, night, sleep, whatever you're up to, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.